Today we are going to be considering some tips for making your online instruction as accessible as possible through a process called Universal Design for Learning. Before we do that, I'd like to recap some central points from our last class. Why design?
We invest time designing online instruction so it works, sort of like a blueprint to ensure that we accomplish what we've set out to do.
We design our instruction to save ourselves time in the long run, by being proactive rather than reactive. The design process allows us to receive feedback, learn from our mistakes, and ensure that our instruction actually works.
It helps us think about learning outcomes, to ensure that our instruction causes a change in learners as a result of the experiences we design, leading to what we hope is the active construction of knowledge.
Yes, but this can only happen if the instruction is compatible with human cognitive learning processes.
Right. So in addition to thinking about the goal of our instruction, the prior knowledge of our students, and the learning environment, we also have to remember that knowledge construction is based on 3 principles from research in cognitive science.
Are you referring to the fact that all people have separate channels for processing visual and verbal material, a limited capacity for processing information, and are susceptible to cognitive overload?
Yes. As designers, we need to use methods that don't overload working memory, such as chunking our instruction, minimizing clutter, and using concise text.
And whenever possible, to use a multimedia approach that allows learners to make connections between words and pictures while keeping audio narrations brief and clear.
So, while we are thinking about what research says about how humans learn, and doing our part to minimize extraneous text, images, and sound, what are some other ways that we can ensure that our design makes learning accessible to all learners? How can we design instruction to remove as many barriers as possible?
For starters, we'd need to plan for a range of variability in our learners by building flexibility into our instructional design. Some people are limited in their abilities to see, hear, move, or think. Others may have varying levels of motivation, organization, and self-regulation.
We may also be teaching students with diverse traits such as age, race, ethnicity, gender, and native language,
as well as students with a range of hidden disabilities, such as ADHD, depression, seizure disorders, and fine motor impairment, among others. In what ways can we expect people to be different, so that we can better plan our instruction?
That means that we'd need to design instruction using a mix of modalities and forms of representation, allowing room for student choice in how they perceive, organize and express, and engage with the instruction. We'd need to design multiple pathways to learning.
As is the case with instructional design, when thinking about universal design for learning, we need to be concerned with the what, the how, and the why.
But wouldn't it be impossible to design instruction that can meet the needs of everyone?
According to Section 508 of the Rehabilitation Act, passed in 1990 and amended in 2008, federal and state agencies are required to make all information technology, including e-learning, accessible to people with disabilities. Many organizations, eager to meet diverse needs, are voluntarily complying. The idea is not to meet the needs of all people all of the time, but to design products and environments to be usable by all people, to the greatest extent possible, without the need for adaptation or specialized design. For example, have you ever used a self-flushing toilet or an automatic sink? These were designed for people with physical disabilities, but they benefit us all. Have you ever ridden your bike on a sidewalk and noticed the cuts in the curb at crosswalks? These were originally designed for wheelchair access, but they benefit bikers, and people walking with baby strollers too. UDL operates on the same principle of benefiting as many people as possible by removing barriers. Similarly, universal design for learning is about being proactive rather than reactive. It's about designing and planning before instruction takes place. It's about anticipating barriers, not making accommodations for them after the fact.
I understand that a blind person would benefit from hearing an audio recording, but how else might I remove barriers for a person who cannot read text or see images on the screen?
Since many people who are blind, or have other visual impairments, use assistive technologies such as a screen reader to translate text into speech, you could provide text-based descriptions of images using alternative tags, also known as alt tags.
That would help me too. Especially when my Wi-Fi connection is running so slowly that I need to turn off the images in my browser.
Additionally, you should minimize clutter, leave enough white space, and use clear fonts and navigation. Headings, when properly used, may help focus an easily distracted learner while also assisting screen readers with navigation. Be sure to select text and graphics with sufficient contrast, without relying upon color to convey information.
That would help me out too, considering my ADHD and color blindness.
Let's shift gears and talk about some other potential barriers. How, in addition to including relevant visuals, could you meet the needs of a person with a hearing disability?
Adding real-time closed captioning of videos, or offering a text-based transcript of an audio presentation, would help, and would also be accessible to people working late who don't want to wake up their housemates. I know that I rely upon captions to catch up on the news when I'm in a busy airport.
Yes, providing a text-based equivalent for all images, icons, symbols, and charts would make learning accessible to a person with a hearing disability, and the text could also be translated by screen readers into a braille display for a person with a visual impairment.
What about a person who cannot operate a mouse?
Ideally, you'd need to ensure that your learning platform or website may be accessed by the tab key on a keyboard, with a link that allows users to bypass navigation links if necessary. To quickly access the main content of a site, drop-down menus can be problematic. Some are difficult to navigate without the use of a mouse, and others are interpreted by screen readers as one object, meaning they are not universally accessible. Animated GIFs should also be avoided, because they can trigger seizure disorders such as epilepsy,
as well as being distracting, which may interrupt learning or lead to cognitive overload.
Removing barriers to increase access to information and learning for as many people as possible makes sense when designing online instruction, just like it makes sense to allow learners to pick and choose the activities and sources of information that best match their goals, abilities, and preferences.
So, it sounds like people, including those who use assistive technology, rely upon well-designed instruction to help remove barriers. Instructional design, like universal design for learning, benefits people with diverse abilities, while accommodating a wide range of individual preferences.
And both support an iterative process that relies upon feedback from users to make improvements that benefit all learners.
How might you apply the principles of universal design for learning to your instructional design process?